Okay, 6th grade, lesson 47. And this lesson is on circumference and then also pi. Okay, not an actual eating pie, but math pie. Okay, so let's talk about circumference real quick. Okay, so far we've talked about something having a perimeter. And it's usually a square object when you're finding the perimeter of something. So if I was finding the perimeter of this, tell me what the answer would be.
Before 5 times 4, right?
That's the area on the inside. We're finding the perimeter.
Oh, 9.
9 for just here to here.
Oh, okay. That is 18.
Very good. So basically, we're finding the distance around this square or this rectangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4, which equals 18, right? Okay. The distance around a square or a rectangle is called perimeter. The distance around a circle is called circumference. Got it? See the difference? Mm-hmm. The distance from here all the way around here is called the circumference. Okay? The distance from here all the way around this way is called perimeter. So an object that looks like this is perimeter. An object that is circular, you're finding the circumference, which is the distance around something. You got it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to teach you something that's really cool today. Okay? And we're going to find the circumference of something and also the diameter. So watch what I mean by that, okay? What we're going to do, our very first activity, is I'm going to take this paper plate, okay? And I'm going to show you how we can find the circumference of this paper plate, okay? The distance from this spot all the way around and back to this spot, okay? So, it's kind of hard sometimes to do something circular unless you have a measuring tape that bends, okay? So there's another way to find the circumference by finding the diameter. Do you know what diameter is?
Yep.
What is the diameter?
It's like across the circle.
Distance across, okay? So basically from here all the way across to here. So this, from this spot all the way across to this spot is the diameter, okay? So what I want to do is go in and grab the ruler over there and bring it to me. There's 2 of them over there, so just pick one of them. It's probably on the top shelf. Okay, now measure for me real quick, and let's see. I'm going to do this on the table real quick, and I'm going to go from one spot all the way across to the other. Okay, we're going to do that. So let me tell you what that is. This paper plate, and I don't know if this is all paper plates, but for this one, it is 10 inches, okay? So my paper plate is 10 inches in diameter. So go on and write that information down. My paper plate is 10 inches in diameter, okay? Now, the cool thing is I'm going to take this cord, and I'm going to mark 10 inches on this, okay? So help me out with this. Help me find 10 inches on this real quick. Okay? I'm going to go from... Oh, you know what? Part of this ruler is bit off. So that means that it's really 9 inches, okay? So an inch of our ruler has been bit off. So we're going to say it's 9 inches. Okay, now... we're going to take this, and I'm going to measure 9 inches real quick on this cord. So help me out. Okay, I want you to mark this piece of cord right here. Mark it for me. Right there on that 10. Very good. Okay, now help me out up here. Okay, go on and put that. Now ready? Here's what we're going to do. We're saying that the diameter from this line to this line is how far our paper plate is. And are we right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Okay, so guess what? The answer to the circumference will always be 3 of these around and a little bit more. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so watch what I'm going to do. Ready? I'm going to need your help up here. Okay?
What?
Come on up here. Okay? And I want you to wrap this. Okay? Until you see that mark. Do you see that mark?
What do you mean, like old?
Right here? Do you see that mark?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Go on and mark on the paper plate that mark. Okay? Do you see the mark? No, the mark's right here. Okay? Alright, now I'm going to start from that spot. Okay, so I'm starting from, look right here, I'm starting from this spot, and we went to this spot is the diameter, right? The amount that we used on our cord, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to go to this spot, start, and I want you to go on and mark again. From here to the next green spot. Do you see the green spot?
About.
Okay, good. And now one more. From this spot to that green line again.
Which is where?
Right there. Want to mark it? Okay. Guess what? How far are we from our original starting spot? Just a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what we ended up doing, we started at this blue. Okay, so as I was saying, we're finding that when I started at this blue mark, what I'm doing is going around 9 inches, 9 inches, and 9 inches, and then a little bit more. Okay? And we call that in math pi. Okay? And the symbol for that is this. Okay? So it's spelled different than like a pie you eat. Alright? And the symbol, it looks like this. Pi in math equals 3.14. Now, it actually doesn't equal that exactly. Did you know it's one of the numbers that they cannot find an exact measurement for? It actually keeps on going on forever. So this is 3.14, and it keeps going on 5, 4, 7, 6, 9, 4, 2, literally forever. It does not stop. That is one number. It's called an irrational number that will keep going on forever. They cannot find an exact measurement for it. Okay? So, what I'm going to do to find my answer to what is my circumference, write this word down, circumference. I'm going to find this circumference of this paper plate by using my information about the diameter. Okay? So watch what I do. It's 9 inches. So I'm going to take my 9 inches in diameter and I'm going to multiply it by this 3.14. So ready? Watch this. 3.14 times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 1 is 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1, 28. And so what do you see? 2826, okay? But what do you remember about decimal numbers and multiplication? We count after it, 1, 2. So we're going to start here and go 1, 2. So, the circumference around this paper plate is 28.26 inches. See how we did that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I took this 9 inches that we found out was our diameter. Remember that? And then we knew that it goes 3 times and a little bit more. Okay, which is known as what in math?
Pi.
Pi. The distance around the object for once you find your diameter is pi. So we multiplied that, and the distance around this paper plate is 28 inches and then 26 hundredths. You got it? 28 and 26 hundredths. Okay? Now, let's try a different circular object. We're going to take this right here. Look right here. Okay? And we measured it a while ago, and we found that this was 4 inches across, right? So this time I'm going to do, instead of a paper plate, I'm doing this glass bowl. Okay? And the distance across this glass bowl was how many inches?
9.
4.
What?
4 inches. 4 inches. I just said that.
Okay.
Okay? 4 inches is 4 inches in diameter. Okay, so help me out. Let's do this real quick. What I want you to do is draw 4 inches on here, on this cord. So go on and do that for me. Okay? And there's 4. You want to mark it? Okay, now help me out. What we're going to take is this glass jar, and I'm going to put a little mark on it to help us out. Okay? So I'm going to go from our starting point, right there. There's our starting point, all the way around till right here where Eli marked. That is 4 inches long from here to here. Okay, but we need to keep going to keep measuring it.
It'll be 8 inches and a little bit more.
We'll time out. So then we're going to go from that one all the way around, which ends up being right there. Still not gotten to the one we started with. We're going to go again. From there, all the way around to right there. All right? So, what we've seen, here's the original, okay? What did I end up doing? I ended up going 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more around, which is known as what? Pi. So, no matter what I take the distance across, it's always going to be that amount 3 times around and a little bit more. So I can measure literally like a huge circle. I could take the diameter of it, find out what the diameter is, and then multiply it 3 times and a little bit more, and I'm going to get my circumference. You see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's find the circumference for this object. Okay, so we're going to take our pi, 3.14, and multiply it by what? 4. So let's do that. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? And in math, what do we do with decimal numbers in multiplication?
Count back.
Count backwards, count 2 spots after, 1, 2. And so we start over here and go 1, 2. So, what's the distance around this circular object?
12.56.
12.56 hundredths of an inch. So it's 12 inches and 56 hundredths of an inch. Got it? So it'd be like 12 inches and 56 dashes out of 100. Okay? Is what that would look like as a fraction mixed number. Okay? You got it? So here's the key information you need to know. You ready for this? To find the circumference of something, here's what you do. Pi times diameter. That dot, do you remember us learning that later on when we start learning multiplication? That dot, when it's lifted up higher, means multiplication. Did you know that? Did you remember that dot means multiplication?
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times, you'll see it just like this. Pi d. Which when you see letters and symbols mixed or put next to each other, did you know that means to multiply? Okay, so here's what you need to see. C equals pi d. That's actually called a formula in math. This is a formula, and you're going to need to learn that. So when you do your ACT or even your SAT, they're not going to give you this formula. They're going to say, what's the circumference of blah, blah, blah? And you're going to need to know that in order to get the circumference, I need to do what?
Pi times
The diameter. You're going to need to know this. Memorize this formula. Okay? Or you can just know it in your head that when I'm finding the circumference, the distance around a circle, that I'm going to multiply pi, which is that 3 and a little bit more, times the diameter from here to here. Remember that? Think you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try one of the problems in the book. Okay? So help me out. it says that Sydney drew a circle. Okay, now this is going to get confusing for a minute because she says with a 2-inch radius. Where is a radius on a circle?
It's half a diameter.
Yes. So if they tell me that this is 2 inches, is that information going to help me to determine what the circumference is?
Mhm.
How?
It's you just plus 2.
Yeah, because this side is also 2, which makes the diameter what?
4.
4. Very good. So you used information. They said 2 inches radius, but don't let that trick you into thinking that the diameter is 2 inches. The diameter wasn't 2 inches. It was the radius was 2 inches. Got it? Okay. So how would I get the answer to what is the circumference of this circle?
You would 4 times pi.
Yeah. So 3.14. Remember, that's the best that we can reach to a number for pi because we don't know the exact number for pi because the number keeps going. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Times 4. And we did this one just a minute ago, and it ends up being 12.56, just so you know. So that is our answer. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is lesson 47.